There's been some updates to the slap heard around the Oscars, and Ricky Gervais had some really funny things to say about how awful all the celebrities are. Hey guys, welcome back to Real Housewives Recaps. Today we're talking the Oscars. I wouldn't normally go back into this, but the support you guys have given, the comments, the love has been just overwhelming. I appreciate everybody who took the time to write me comments. I got so many amazing ones. I can't even pick my favorite because I love them all so much. Thank you for just all the support. I really appreciate it. And all the very kind comments about agreeing with a lot of stuff I said. And some of you didn't, and that's okay too. We can still be friends and talk about it. But let's get into it. So yeah, there's been an update. Will Smith issued an apology. I'm going to read out that apology. And again, I want to continue this dialogue in the comments where we talk about it. So you got to let me know your feelings because I really do love reading those. And then I got to talk about the really funny things that Ricky Gervais said and get into all that. It has to do with that gift bag I talked about. Before I get into all this, guys, I want to thank you again for all the love and support. It really does mean the world to me. Every comment helps the channel. I really do appreciate it. Thank you all for being here, for giving me your time. If you're interested, I do ask that you check out my Patreon. I got a lot of fun stuff going on over there. We're recapping the original Sex and the City series, as well as Always Sunny, and the top tier gets to pick the stuff we recap as well. So check that out. Let's get into this episode. So just in case you didn't see my first video, I do recommend you go check that out. I have the full video of the slap heard around the world where Will Smith didn't like Chris Rock's joke, slapped him across the face. Pretty bad. And it was the most awkward, stunning silence. A lot of people, including myself, had very strong reaction and considered it an act of violence. And no words that Chris Rock could have said could have warranted such a reaction. It's just not right. And a lot of you brought up a great point, which was Chris Rock wasn't even the main presenter. He was just up there doing his part. So there's a chance he didn't even write the joke. He probably didn't know that she had alopecia. And even if he did, it was a joke. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, it was a tasteless, sure. I said that in my first video as well. I'm not going to go back over all of it. It wasn't even that funny. But so I'm recording this Monday evening. And as of 10 p.m., Chris Rock has not publicly said anything. I'll get to, in the article, it does talk about a little bit the aftermath, but he's not publicly said anything. Will Smith, however, just put out an apology. So, again, as of Monday night, 10:30 or 10 o'clock, Will Smith has apologized to Chris Rock for his inexcusable Oscars assault after joke about wife Jada's hair and says he's embarrassed as Academy debates whether to strip disgraced star of Best Actor award. That's a mouthful to say. Okay, so we're going to talk about this and we're going to go into the times that the Academy has stripped awards. I did read something interesting there we'll get into, but Will Smith did come out and publicly apologize. I have his apology here, so I'd like to read it to you. So Will Smith in his apology says, "Violence in all of its forms is poisonous and destructive. My behavior at last night's Academy Awards was unacceptable and unexcusable. Jokes at my expense are part of the job, but a joke about Jada's medical condition was too much for me to bear. I reacted emotionally." Can I call bullshit on this apology already? "I would like to publicly apologize to you, Chris. I was out of line. I was wrong. I was embarrassed, and my actions were not indicative of the man that I want to be. There's no place for violence in a world of love and kindness." He goes on to say, "I would also like to apologize to the Academy, the producers of the show, all the attendees, and everyone watching around the world. I'd like to apologize to the Williams family and my King Richard family. I deeply regret that my behavior has stained what has been an otherwise gorgeous journey for all of us. I am a work in progress. Sincerely, Will." Okay, let's talk pluses and minuses here. I want to give him credit because he did do an apology. That's good. I am glad that he addressed Chris directly. That's good. I don't know. you guys. I caught some hell over this, so I'll just be straight with you because that's what I do. Some people were mad because I didn't acknowledge that Jada has a medical condition, but I did acknowledge it. I know she does. And that sucks. I actually don't talk about my private life, but somebody very close to me has the same condition. So I'm actually very familiar with this condition, alopecia. But I'm not going to talk about that. I'm just going to say, would it hurt my feelings if somebody joked about my family member? Absolutely it would. It would actually really hurt me. But would I get up on stage and punch somebody? No, because I was taught you don't use physical violence no matter what somebody says. You just don't. It's the same problem I had with Monique on Potomac. I love Monique. She's one of my favorites. She shouldn't have hit Candace, even though Candace was begging her to hit her. And that one I may have Anyway, we're not going to go down that rabbit hole. You just can't. No matter what somebody says, you can't use your hand. It just doesn't make sense. Now, if they hit first, all bets are off. Go for it. But that's not what happened here. Chris Rock said something stupid on a teleprompter, or maybe he wrote something stupid. I don't know. I don't care. I understand a lot of people brought up Chris Rock is problematic in himself. Totally agree. Get it. No problem. Still doesn't excuse the hitting thing. After the incident, the Academy talked about its own code of conduct. I don't know. I just can't care about the Academy. I think it's just a bunch of old, stodgy men that I don't know. Who cares? Okay, they put out a thing, though, saying, we don't condone violence. They're supposedly debating whether or not they'll rescind his award. We'll see. We'll see if it happens. I actually had a ton of you in the comments saying that that's what should happen. I tend to agree. I don't think, I found out about this guy, and I need to look up the story, but basically somebody had his award taken away because it was found out that he contacted some of the governing board members beforehand, which is a no-no, and because of that, they took it away. So there is a precedent for it happening. They go into how they took it away from, I don't even want to say his name, that horrible monster, Harvey, you know who I'm talking about. They took his away because, he's a horrible monster. Bill Cosby, another one, a lot of people like that. They've taken him away. Roman Polanski, taken away. I'm not putting this in the same category, but I'm merely saying there's a precedent there that if they break the rules, they don't get it. So I would say, maybe the rules should apply there too. So again, Chris Rock has not officially responded to anything. A close friend of Chris has informed Daily Mail that the comedian went straight back to his dressing room after the incident and then left the building. And they added that he did not know that Jada suffered with alopecia. He doesn't have a mean bone in his body. And he was supposedly left shaken and bewildered. Well, hello, if you got smacked across the face, of course you would be shaken and bewildered. I just find it unacceptable and unexcusable. There's just no justifying the physical side of things. Had Will Smith not hit him, then I would totally have Will Smith's back. I really would, because that's bullshit to make that joke then. You know what I mean? And if it was all that serious and then Will hadn't resorted to violence, I would have a different stance on things, is what I'm trying to say. I say that. I'm thinking this more. I will say, with the asterisk, I just think these guys, everybody, all these actors and actresses in Hollywood, whatever, are so full of themselves and smelling their own farts, like Michael Patrick King and everybody else. Like, why can't they make jokes? I love Ricky Gervais, and we're going to talk about him in a little bit. He roasted them all, and I love that about him. So you know what? Fuck it. I say Chris Rock was totally in the right. Make that joke. Go for it. Have fun. And he called her G.I. Jane. A lot of people pointed out that may not have been an insult. She was a badass woman that was really strong and tough. And plus, Jada was wearing this huge green dress. Like, there's a couple of factors that led into maybe calling her that. So this whole thing's ridiculous. I do have to note, with quite a bit of irony and everything else, that dumb Alec Baldwin felt the need to respond to this because he thinks everything he says is so important. Of course he'd have to respond. I'm not reading much about how or even if the producers attended to Chris, but I love you at Chris Rock, and I'm sorry the Oscars turned into the Jerry Springer show. Now, I actually said the same thing. I felt bad for Chris Rock. Nobody seemed to jump up on stage to help him. We saw all these actors and whatever else comforting Will Smith after he hit somebody, but not Chris Rock. That's pretty fucked up. And I can't believe I'm saying I agree with Alec Baldwin on that one, but I hate Alec Baldwin, and I think it's funny that he's calling out the Oscars being a Jerry Springer show when pretty much his life reads like one. On a funny side note, an article also came out saying that, well, if nothing else, the slapped help Oscars stumble to higher ratings. So I don't even want to spend time on this. I didn't think anybody still watched this shit or gave a crap, and it sounds like they don't. But it is kind of funny that they needed something like this to stumble into higher ratings. I did have quite a few of you thinking that it's a publicity stunt, and maybe it is. It could have been. I don't know. I just watching that, reading it at first, I believed that it might have been, but then watching that video, it felt so real and unplanned and completely shocking, and I could feel the shock off of Chris Rock that I actually don't believe it was planned. I do have to add in one funny note here. I asked my husband Jay about it, and we were talking about it, whether or not we think it's planned or not, and he had the best response. He said, no, they're not that good of actors. I don't think it was planned. And I'm like, oh shit, he's actually right. All right, let's go on to the fun stuff. Ricky Gervais, I just find him so funny. I love when he hosts things. I don't watch the Oscars or any dumb award shows, but I like to watch the highlights of the way he roasts celebrities. Well, he's come out and launched a scathing attack on Oscars. In that bag I was telling you guys about, that $140,000 nominee gift bag, he said the same thing I did, which is so ridiculous, but he said it a lot funnier way than I did. But, yeah, let me just tell you, he wrote on Twitter, I'd start with, hello, I hope this show helps cheer up the ordinary people watching at home. If you're unemployed, for example, take some comfort in the fact that even if you had a job, your salary probably wouldn't be as much as the goodie bag all the actors have just been given. Oh, so good. I'm proud to announce that this is the most diverse and progressive Oscars ever. Looking out, I see people from all walks of life, every demographic under the sun, except poor people, because obviously, F them. Then, when asked if he could tweet further takes throughout the ceremony, he said, I'll be asleep. There was a ton of outrage about the gift bags. A lot of people felt the exact same way I did, which it just doesn't make sense. It's ridiculous. It's disgusting show of wealth in a time where a lot of people are really struggling. People pointed out that especially like people in Ukraine could really use the aid, and children and things like that are suffering and need help, and so over the top. But nope, let's give them to the celebrities because that's a thing. And yes, I'm aware that people got them, or have them donated, or it's part of this thing, but still, it's just an over-the-top, like, us common folk would have to pay for that stuff, so it doesn't make it any better that the celebrities are getting it for free. It's gross. Okay, guys, that's it for me. Again, thank you all so much for all the comments. I had a lot of comments in this one, and keep them coming. I really do appreciate them. I read them all. And yeah, thanks for everything. Definitely let me know your thoughts on this one. Do you buy the apology? What are your thoughts on it? I can't wait to read them, and I'll definitely report back if anything else comes up. But in the meantime, have a wonderful day. I'm working on Devil Wears Prada, so that'll come out soon. So look for that. Thank you guys for everything. Take care, stay healthy, and I'll talk to you again soon. Bye-bye. We'll be right back.